The way we please God is by surrendering, not on one knee, on both knees, by becoming less of ourselves, by yielding to his grace and having faith in him, by allowing his love to change us. People talk about this legalist stuff all the time. Well, you must do this and that and the other, but they don't seem to realize that the law of God in a believer's heart is the law of love. These laws and commands are love. Love is the fulfillment of the law. By loving God and by loving each other. How many legalist types do you see battering people around the head on Facebook, or constantly, projecting and condemning and this, that and the other? But little do they realize that they are not following the very laws that Christ showed us, to love our neighbour as ourselves, to love one another. That is the law. This is the yielding. This is the transformation of love, because we do it through the motivation of love. We love one another. And I've been praying this over the last few months. God, please help me to love others. I can't love others properly. I'm so broken in this world. I don't know what it is to properly love. I don't. So please, Lord, the only way, and this is what I've come to see, the only way we can truly love one another is if God gives us that love. God has to give us the love in which we love others. Just imagine it for a second, vertical, then horizontal. God has to give us the love that we then love others with. He's the one that fills us up. He's the living bread, he's the living water. Jesus Christ is the one that gives us life. He gives us the strength. He fills us up. So that emptiness that was in us, that desire for self and approval and attention and glory and sin and pleasure and endless amounts of, just into a bottomless pit. This is the human nature without Christ. Just like a black sun. The black sun is an image. That black hole sun, the vacuum, that's an image of an unbeliever. That's us when we were in the realm of darkness. And this is what Jesus Christ delivers us from, out of the darkness and the dominion of darkness into his glorious light. And this is the gospel, folks. Let's just really try and understand this together, that the gospel is not a fairy tale. It's not something that we just say a magic few words and that's it. The gospel is a deep, powerful, life-changing commitment and allegiance to Jesus Christ. And it doesn't mean that we're going to be perfect while we're in this flesh. We can't. We still have the old nature battling the new nature. But it's a heart thing. It's not about the outward, it's about the inward. If your heart is pointed to Christ, then just keep clinging onto him in your heart, and he will change you, he will restore you. This is how we get healing for our brokenness. So many of us are broken people, emotionally hurt, wounded souls, especially in this day and age. But this is part of this world. But we need to be restored. We need to be filled with Christ. And this is what it is all about. So coming to Christ, it is a true heartfelt surrender to the allegiance of the King of the kingdom of God. The King This is think about joining the military. You pledge allegiance to the king. We are moving from the citizenship of the world to the kingdom of God. We are becoming ambassadors, like an embassy. We're becoming ambassadors. It's about remaining faithful to the end. And just this friendship with him is just life-changing. It's so different, folks. It's so deep. It's so powerful. It's so awesome. And just having that inner rest and stillness and peace, just knowing that no matter what happens in this world, no matter what happens in this life, whatever we go through, that we are resting on the solid rock. And that's the other thing, the things we go through in this life, they're all training us for the kingdom. All the things that we go through in this life, the reason God allows suffering in our life, the reason that we face challenges and trials and tests, that he is trying to mold us like clay into what he desires for us. And remember, he loves us. He desires good things in the kingdom to come, that we are being trained to reign with Christ, that we are being trained and molded in this life. This is what this is all about. So don't give up. Don't despair, because everything that happens, whether it be sicknesses that we go through, whether it be trials, temptations, whether it be social unrest, persecutions, all of these things are preparing us for glory, and they're not going to be wasted. All of these things are going to have had a purpose for us in glory, to reign with Christ. So this is all about bowing lower to him and to his will, and yielding to him, casting off the works of darkness, allowing him to change us, living in his will, and turning away from our sin, and all of these things, guys, fellowshipping with each other and growing in love. Him first, then each other.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law, and that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.